Hey guys, welcome back. So in this video, we will see the descriptive statistics in an hands-on manner. So you have the theoretical understanding as how each of these descriptive statistics is going to work and the key things that we have inside this descriptive statistics. So as we proceed in today's session, we will see how we can generate the data set, and with an example data set, we will compute the measure of central tendency using Python programming language, and we'll also see how we can compute the measure of dispersion in Python programming language. So let's start coding and let's go to the Google Colab and let's start working with our data set so that we computationally will be able to find all these values. Okay, I'm now in my Google Colab. Now, in order to measure the central tendency and dispersion, we've got both the methods. One, I'll show you how we can do it with the help of pandas library, and the other option is we can make use of stats library. So first, let's explore how we can do it with the help of pandas library. In order to do the same, I'll start by importing my pandas library. So import pandas as pd, and I'll just create a data frame pd dot data frame, and here inside the parenthesis I'll create a Python dictionary. Okay, I'll create my Python dictionary with key as John. Okay, and the values that I'll assign the values. So 98, 87, 76, 88, 96. Okay, this is for one student, and I'll add one more student example. I'll say Adam, and his marks may be something as 88, 52, 69, 79, 80. And apart from that, we've got David. So David, his marks can be something like this: 90, 92, 71, 60, and 64. So I'm creating a data frame with the help of my Python dictionary. Now once I execute this will create a data frame where this data frame has the column names as John, Adam, and David, and it will have the respective marks that have been scored by the individual student. Okay, now once this data frame has been created, if I want to calculate the mean, so in Python data frame, that is in pandas data frame, we've got a method that is called as mean. So I'll say df.mean, and inside the parenthesis I can mention my axis is equal to 0. So this is going to calculate the mean, okay, for each column. So if I execute this, see, we've got the output that says as 89, 74, 75.4. So these are the mean values for the individual columns. Similarly, if I want to find the median, so we've got an inbuilt method. I'll say median. Okay, so this will determine and return me the median value for me. Okay, so this is a median value for my given data set. The median value for John is 88, Adam is 79, David is 71. Okay, and if I want to calculate the mode, see, mode is a scenario where like it is going to return the most frequently occurring value. So let me just modify this. Okay, I'll modify my existing data frame and I'll mention my John's marks like this: 87, 87, and I'll keep the two values as it is. And for Adam, I'll just modify this value, and for David I'll just modify this value. Okay, I'll show it to you. So this is how my data would look like. Now I've created a new data frame. Okay, now let's calculate the mode. So mode is a most frequently occurring value in my data set. So df1.mode, it will return me the mode of my individual column. If I execute this, see, for John column the mode is 87 because that is the one which is appearing twice, and for Adam, so the mode is 79, and for David the mode is actually 92 because 92 is present 3 times. So it doesn't matter which one is highest or lowest. Mode is going to return most frequently, yes, most frequently occurring value in my data set. So this is about measurement of central tendency. So the mean is the average, median is the center value or a middle value, and mode is the most frequently appearing value. Now we've got something called as measures of dispersion. See, for the measures of dispersion, we've got variance and standard deviation. Now the first measure of dispersion that we are going to see is the variance. See, talking about the variance, the formula for variance is given by sigma x minus mu whole square divided by n. So this is the formula to calculate the variance, and the standard deviation, or like the standard deviation, will be just square root of this variance. Now the first formula that you're seeing right here, so this first formula is for calculation of variance for the entire population. If I want to calculate the variance, okay, for a specific sample that is given by, instead of dividing by n, we'll be dividing by n minus 1. So that is the only difference, guys. So we've got our data frame that is df1. Okay, now this df1 is how my data frame would look like this. Now we've got an inbuilt method. The inbuilt method is df1.var. But what we need to do is, first let's compute it manually using this formula, and then we'll validate our results. Okay, so by default, when I call this df1.var, so this is going to return the value which is my sample variance. So it is going to make use of the formula of this sample variance. So if I execute this, the sample variance is given by 28.7, 188.3 and 307. So let's do one thing. Let's apply the formula manually and see whether we are getting the same values. For demonstration purpose, okay, I'm going to say df1. So I'll get that column, okay, and I'll deduct it from its mean. So df1 John dot mean. Okay, once I deduct this, the next thing that I need to do is I have to square it. Okay, I have to square it, and then I'll have to perform the sum. So I'll perform the sum, and once I perform the sum, since it's a sample, I'll have to divide by n minus 1. So I'll say divided by n minus 1 is nothing but len of df1 John minus 1. So if I execute this, this is going to return me, okay, so this is going to return me the overall sample variance. So here in this scenario, okay, we are seeing it as 28.7. Let's do one thing. I think, yeah, now it should work fine. So we had mentioned in a specific way. See, by correctly specifying the order with the help of brackets, if I apply the same formula over here, we are seeing the same output for sample variance. Now if I want to calculate the population variance, what we have to do is we'll have to specify the degrees of freedom is equal to 0. So this is going to return the population variance. So this is going to return the population variance. So population variance is 22.96. And if I want to find the same, I just have to remove this minus 1. See, I've got the output as 22.96. In the same way, if I want to calculate the standard deviation, so standard deviation is also the similar way, guys. So here df1.std, this is going to return the sample standard deviation. If I want to return the population standard deviation, I'll have to say degrees of freedom is equal to 0. So 4.7, and just observe, see, this is the population standard variance. So get the square root of this. So I'll say import numpy as np, okay, So I would say np.sqrt, just mention that value. So 4.779, and that is what we have over here. So what we have done right now is we have calculated the values of measures of central tendency using the pandas library, and we have also made use of formula and calculated in an hands-on manner measure of central tendency and measures of dispersion. Now apart from that, we can also find and we can also perform the similar activities using stats library as well, that is statistics library as well. So let's see how we can work with this Python statistics module. I'll say import statistics as st. So this is going to import the statistics module, and for the example purpose I'll say nums is equal to 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, if I want to calculate the mean, I just have to say st.mean, and I can specify this list. This is going to return the mean value. Okay, and if I want to return the mode, okay, so then what I can do is I'll just modify some values. I'll say 3. I'll just modify some values. Okay, now once I modify the values, I'll call it as mode. See, the overall mode of this collection is 4. And if I want to calculate median, it is just st.median, and this will help me to find the value of median. Okay, next to find the variance, so st.variance. So this is going to return the value of variance using my statistics module. And finally, if I want to generate the standard deviation, it's just the square root of variance. So this is how I can go ahead and find the measures of dispersion and the measure of central tendency using the pandas and as well as the statistics module. So what we have done in this video is we have performed the hands-on coding and how we can measure the central tendency and the measure of dispersion in a hands-on manner. So as we progress in the upcoming video, we will see the measure of shape. Okay, we will understand how we can use this measure of shape and how we can use it in a statistical analysis. So I'll see you in the next video.